Hello everyone. Today we are going to be discussing a question from Typical PT's platform. Let's jump right in. All right, here's the question. A 45-year-old patient with a history of hypertension and diabetes is admitted to the neurology ward following a head injury. The patient's eyes open when the therapist calls out to them. He starts saying confusing things when asked questions, and his motor response is localized. Calculate the patient's Glasgow Coma Scale, GCS, score. A. GCS score of 15. B. GCS score of 14. C. GCS score of 13. D. GCS score of 12. Go ahead and pause the video right now, think through the logic, and lock in your answer. When you are ready, hit play again to see the solution. Welcome back. The correct answer is D. GCS score of 12. Before we break down the explanation, I want to mention that the infographic shown here is from the Physical Therapy Essentials book from Typical PT. You can find this diagram and other helpful resources inside that book. Answer choice D is correct. In this scenario, eye opening, or E, equals 3 because the patient's eyes opened when called out to. Motor response, or M, equals 5 because the patient exhibited a localized motor response. Verbal response, or V, equals 4 because the patient's verbal responses were confused. The GCS score is calculated by summing these values. GCS equals E plus M plus V. GCS equals 3 plus 5 plus 4. GCS equals 12. So the correct answer is D, GCS score of 12. Now, let's explain the information shown in this diagram. The Glasgow Coma Scale is divided into 3 components: eye opening, verbal reasoning, and motor response. Each of these categories has its own scoring system, and the total score is calculated by adding the values from all 3 sections: eyes opening, verbal reasoning, and motor response. For eyes opening, the scale shows spontaneous equals 4, to sound equals 3, to pressure equals 2, none equals 1. For verbal reasoning, the scale shows orientated equals 5, confused equals 4, words equals 3, sounds equals 2, none equals 1. For motor response, the scale shows obey commands equals 6, localizing equals 5, normal flexion equals 4, abnormal flexion equals 3, extension equals 2, none equals 1. The diagram also classifies severity by score range. Mild is 13 to 15, moderate is 9 to 12, severe is 3 to 8. Since this patient's score is 12, that places the patient in the moderate category shown in the diagram. Now, let's quickly review why the other choices are incorrect. Answer choice A, GCS score of 15, is incorrect, because that score would require a higher level of response than what is described in the question. Based on the patient's actual responses, the correct calculation is E equals 3, M equals 5, and V equals 4, which adds up to 12, not 15. Answer choice B, GCS score of 14, is incorrect because it does not match the patient's described presentation. The rationale clearly shows that eye opening to verbal command is 3, localized motor response is 5, and confused verbal response is 4, so the total is still 12, not 14. Answer choice C, GCS score of 13, is incorrect because it is also not the correct sum of the patient's responses. When the proper Glasgow Coma Scale values are assigned based on the case, the calculation remains 3 plus 5 plus 4, which equals 12. Now that you've completed this case, take a moment to record the key points in your typical PT digital notebook. Use it to organize what you've learned and reinforce how to apply core integumentary concepts when evaluating and managing neuromuscular-related conditions. Thanks for watching today's question of the day. We're dropping new NPTE prep content every single day to help you pass with confidence. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Typical PT for daily study tips, quick reviews, and motivation to keep you going.